It appears Fox gave its recent barbershop interview with former President Trump a bit of a trim, leaving some of his tangents, exaggerations, and false claims on the cutting room floor.
Trying to hide Trump's cognitive collapse is a little like trying to teach climate science to Dairy Queen.
You're going to tell me that back in the Ice Age, how much taxes did people pay and how many changes did governments make to melt the ice?
It's impossible to do, and trying is likely going to give you an aneurysm.
Will repeat your...
But that didn't stop the fascist fanboys over at Fox News from trying to cover up Trumpty Dumpty's scrambled eggs for brains.
We have to point out the irony here. The former president recently accused CBS of editing a 60 Minutes interview with Vice President Kamala Harris, allegedly to make her look good. CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter joins us now. And Brian, you've reviewed the full Fox video. What did you find comparing it to what aired?
That's right. Trump has been attacking 60 Minutes for its editing decisions, accusing the network of conspiring with Kamala Harris to make her look better by editing her answers in a recent interview. CBS denies that, and last night, CBS sent a letter to Trump basically swatting away his threats to sue the network. But that's the curious context for this story about Trump's recent appearance on Fox. He visited a barber shop in the Bronx, and when he was there, Fox camera crews tagged along. I was able to watch a fuller version of the experience, the interaction, via Instagram, because one of the attendees filmed it and put it on Instagram. And what I noticed were all of these moments where Trump was either lying or exaggerating or rambling or going off script, and Fox cut those out of the broadcast.
Hello, kettle? Yeah, this is pot. I gotta tell you something.
Here's an example. Here's a clip that Fox actually did air. Notice how he seems to answer the question from the attendee right away.
So my question is, with all this extra revenue we're going to be bringing into the country, so do you believe at some point in time we could find a way, once the country's back on its feet and getting enough revenue and paid off our debt, do you think it's possible to find a way to eliminate federal taxes?
There is a way.
How do you feel about it?
You know, in the old days, when we were a smart country, in the 1890s and all, this is when the country was relatively the richest it ever was.
By God, he's nearly as quick on his ass as he is on his feet. And as an avid Fox News viewer with zero social media literacy, I see nothing wrong with that odd audio skip in the middle there.
Good question, interesting answer, but actually that attendee had to ask the question 4 times and get Trump to answer. And Fox stitched it together over the course of 7 minutes to create the illusion of one clear answer.
7 minutes? You know how many microwave dinners I can make for my idiot liberal kids in that time? But seriously, folks, come on, give the guy a break. He's 78 years old and just found out McDonald's workers don't make the fries by hand.
I always figured somebody stuffs them in with their hand, and I don't like that. And they don't do it that way. You never touch them. It's really great.
You thought the fries come out of the boiling oil and the workers making that sweet, sweet $4.25 an hour just reach in and go, ah!
That's what I thought too. And you know where I learned that from? Fox News.
Participants had to keep following up when Trump would meander and ramble. Now, this is an example of what some Trump critics call sane washing. The press sometimes cleaning up Trump's speech to make him sound more sane. I would call it an example instead of normalizing. You know, it's an example of normalizing Trump to fit him into a TV time slot. Sometimes when that happens, you end up cutting out a lot of his false claims and rambling.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? Of course they cut out the ramblings and false claims. Much like Trump at McDonald's, we're just trying to get to the meat of it all. You know, those pristine snippets like, and then she became a black person. And as a white male Fox viewer, I really resonated with that. Besides, as your co-host, who looks like he just ate a particularly rancid Trump steak, said earlier...
Now, we should point out, editing interviews is not unusual, especially when you're dealing with time constraints. Brevity is, of course, important, but the most important element is that the meaning of what's being said has to remain the same so that you don't misrepresent, whether intentionally or not, what your subject is saying.
How the hell could anyone possibly misinterpret the things dementia Donald Trump says?
Everything that this guy says, so...
We have 2 enemies. We have the outside enemy, and then we have the enemy from within. And the enemy from within, in my opinion, is more dangerous than China, Russia, and all these countries. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
What I want to just make very clear is that it's my belief that what former President Trump is talking about are the people that are coming over the border that in fact are committing crimes, that are bringing drugs, that are trafficking humans. That is what I believe the president is referring to. I don't think that he's referring to elected people in America.
Right, that would be insane if he was actually talking about real elected officials there, right?
Adam Shifty Schiff, who's a total sleazebag, is going to become a senator. But I call him the enemy from within. And it is the enemy from within. And they're very dangerous. The more difficult are, the Pelosi's, these people, they're so sick and they're so evil.
Are you out of your f***ing mind?
Whoa, easy there, John. We all know the answer to that is a hearty Besides, it's harmless. Nothing Trump ever said has ever led to violence against any elected official, violence against any former vice president, against any member of the police.
Well, I bet Donald Trump is about to get an earful from the current Speaker of the House, who will, despite his support of Donald Trump, still have the courage to, I'm kidding, just roll it.
What he's talking about is marauding gangs of dangerous, violent people who are destroying public property.
You are a decorated veteran. How would you feel about deploying against Adam Schiff?
Well, I don't think that's what he said, John. I think you're connecting some dots there.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was all just Trump's plan to promote his new children's book, Connecting the Dots for Kids Who Want to Coup. When the fuck are Republicans going to wake up? When are they going to stop trying to sane wash and normalize the crazy crap this man spews more than his biohazard diaper fumes? I know Fox has never been the type for journalistic integrity.
Green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers.
But this is bigger than them and has been a problem in the mainstream media for a long time. And it's something they themselves understand and still do next to nothing about.
You know, it strikes me what's interesting about the moment we're in right now is that we in the media are treating Vice President Harris like we treat a normal politician, and we're critiquing her answers, and we're talking about, well, she could have said this differently, she could have said that differently. Meanwhile, the Republican nominee literally is talking about liberals being the enemy within, talking about using the military to go after these people. His defenders say, oh no, he's talking about going after illegal immigrants, or he's going after mobs in the street. And Trump will say, no, I mean going after the Pelosi's, going after Adam Schiff, going after Democrats. And these campaigns are in two different universes.
Yep. Sorry, Jake, I get the sentiment, but we are very much in the same universe. And when you try to pretend we're not, or that the people who vote for blah blah the hut over here don't have a tangible impact on the election that is happening in under 2 weeks in this universe, then you fail at your job of creating an informed electorate. And frankly, the damage is already done. I do believe that good and sanity will prevail on November 5th, but the media, and Fox in particular, have propped this man's brain up like Weekend at Bernie's. And whether the media likes it or not, this is real life.
Give me, I don't know, a man in an apron at a drive-through window thoughtfully considering whether or not to future coup.
Talking to reporters, Trump was asked about accepting the 2024 election results.
Either way, will you accept the results of the election?
Yeah, sure. If it's a fair election, always. I would always accept it if it's got to be a fair election.
Thanks for watching, folks. If you liked the video, and if you like what we do here by calling the media out on their half-ass call-outs of Donald Trump, please consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, and supporting the Really American Network. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.